Hi, this is Melvin. I want to welcome you again to Urban Watch Poetry, and where we speak the truth. The truth is important. Today, um, I want to address um, the selection of Brett Kavanaugh um, to the Supreme Court. Uh, he will be the second alleged sexual predator on the Supreme Court. And I want to start out by reading you. It's a letter that a 12-year-old girl wrote to a judge after going through the judicial system. Uh, well, she had been sexually molested by her father, and she went through the judicial system. And this is her response to that system and to the judge. Uh, it's called Promises, Promises. I asked you for help, and you told me you would. I told you the things my dad did to me. It was really hard for me to say all those things, but you told me to trust you. And then you made me repeat them to 14 different strangers. I asked you for privacy, and you sent 2 policemen to my school in front of everyone to, quote, go downtown for a talk in their black and white car, like I was the one being busted. I asked you to believe me. You said that you did. Then you connected me to a lie detector, took me to court, where lawyers put me on trial, like I was a liar. I can't help it if I can't remember times or dates. Your questions got me confused. My confusion got you suspicious. I asked you for help, and you gave me a doctor with a cold metal gadget and cold hands. Spread my legs and stared, just like my father. You said it wouldn't hurt, just like my father. You told me not to cry. You said I looked fine. Good news for me, you said. Bad news for my case. I asked you for confidentiality, and you let the newspaper get my story. What does it matter that they left out my name? They put my father's in our home address. Even my best friend's mother won't let her talk to me anymore. I asked you for protection, and you gave me a social worker who patted my head and called me honey, mostly because she could never remember my name. She sent me to live with strangers in another place, in a different school. I lost my part in school play and the science fair, while he and all of the others got to stay at home. Do you know what it's like to live where there's a lock on the refrigerator, where you have to ask for permission to use a shampoo, or you can't use the phone to call your own friends? You get used to hearing, hi, I'm your new social worker. This is your new foster sister, dorm mother, group home. You tiptoe around like a perpetual guest. You don't even get to see your own puppy grow up. Do you know what it's like to know more social workers than friends? Do you know what it feels like to be the one that everybody blames for the trouble? Even when they were speaking to me, all they talked about was lawyers, shrinks, and fees, whether or not they'd lose the mortgage. Do you know what it's like When your sisters hate you and your brother calls you a liar, my word against my father's. I'm 12 years old. He's the manager of a bank. You say you believe me? Who cares? Nobody else does. I asked you for help, and you forced my mom to choose between us. She chose him, of course. She was scared and had a lot to lose. I've had a lot to lose too. The difference was you never told me how much. I asked you to put an end to the abuse. You put an end to my whole family. You took away my nights of hell and gave me days of hell instead. You exchanged my private nightmare for a very public one. For Susan Collins and all of the Republican members on the Senate Judiciary Committee who voted to elevate Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court, you did exactly what this 12-year-old girl says you did. For all victims of sexual abuse, you exchanged their private nightmare for a very public one. You put salt in their wound. You said to them, it's okay for you to be sexually molested. We don't care that you have been sexually molested. What's important to us is winning. A week or so ago, on television, I watched Donald Trump mock a woman who had been sexually molested. And a group of his base, pretending to be people, laugh about it. What he said and what you did to all victims of sexual abuse is that you don't care. It doesn't matter. Shame on you. I'm going to end by reading a poem that I wrote. I was a co-therapist in a group for victims of sexual abuse. And I'm reminded that one of the most profound things that struck me in that group was one evening when one of the victims, one of the ladies in the group, told me why that they never, ever say when they're asked how you feel or how's your day going, they never say fine. And she told me that because for them, fine stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And what the Republicans in the Senate Judiciary Committee said to them and all victims is that you don't care that they feel fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. You only care about process. You only care about winning. And I'm going to end by reciting this poem that I wrote, and I dedicate this poem to all the people, all the women in the Me Too movement, to all the victims, of sexual abuse. It's a poem I wrote after having been in that group for a while, and it's called Heroes. And you're all heroes to me. Battered, tattered, shattered dreams. How far away the future seems. I seem caught up in yesterday. Abuse, misuse. I was your prey. Tortured memories of my past. How much longer will you last? Will I forever feel you near? Will I forever live in fear? Fear of the pain that you inflicted, the childhood growth that you restricted. You made my life a living hell. I pled to you with no avail. I was but a little child, whose innocence that you defiled. But I have grown, and I am stronger, and you control my life no longer. Yes, I survived your darkest hour. Now in my life, you have no power. The pain you caused might manifest, but it does not control my quest. Each time you raise your hideous face, I take me to a safer place. A place within where I implore to be your victim, nevermore. Shame on you, Susan Collins. Shame on you, Orrin Hatch. Shame on you. Shame on all you Republicans in the Senate Judiciary Committee who elevated a sexual predator, who said openly on public television to you and the American people that once he's seated on the Supreme Court, his position will be what goes around comes around. Shame on you. Shame on you. This is Urban Watch Poetry. My name is Melvin, and we speak the truth.